Hey, everybody, we're back, and it's episode 37. He's laughing because I got your ass. We always talk.
So silly.
It is silly, but that's marriage.
I said, you're so silly.
Oh. That is true. That is true. So we're laughing. Welcome back, guys. We're on episode 37.
Episode 37. Welcome back, guys.
We're wait, before we get
Sorry.
started. Before we get started.
I can't stop laughing. It's just funny.
Because I got your ass. And whenever we come in the studio, we kind of like take some time, right? Tate plays his music, and I come in here like a half hour later or whatever, because he's got to get, he's got to get in the zone, right? But you haven't really been doing that lately. You just come in and you're ready to rock and roll, which I think is awesome because so many of our followers, they'll comment, oh, he's getting so good.
Yeah, I appreciate those comments, by the way.
Yeah, so comfortable in front of the camera and in front of the mic. And so, but what you guys don't see is behind the scenes, which, by the way, we will. For those of you, we didn't do it in this last episode, but the 35, I believe it was episode 35 or 34, we put a blooper at the end, and I wanted to see our graphic designer / editor was like, hey, this was a pretty funny blooper. Yeah. He's like, I think I'm going to put it at the beginning. I go, no, put it at the end, and let's see who watches all the way to the end. Kind of like, everyone calls us the ACU.
Yeah, the
right?
secrets at the end.
Yeah, the Apollo Cinematic Universe. Well, that's what they do at Marvel movies, and you have to stay like 15 minutes after to see like a little teaser for the next one.
Who's a true fan?
So far, there was only 2 of you.
Just kidding.
Well, we used to have 1 fan. Now we have 2. Which is pretty awesome. So, but anyway, we were laughing because you guys don't see the behind the scenes. And if you guys want to see bloopers, let us know. Drop a comment and let us know if you want to see bloopers. We were being silly that day and we added it. But before, you guys don't see the behind the scenes on how we get ready. And we always have like, okay, let's talk about like, a story or something that, drives us or I don't know what. And I always come prepared because that's how I am. And every time I say, hey, do you have a story to share with the team? And he goes, nope. And I was like, oh, okay. You never have a story. And he's like, what? And that's why he's laughing, because I got your ass.
I just thought it was quick. It was your quick whip. When I said, well, do you have a story? And you said, of course I do. I always have a story. That's why I'm almost ready, and you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what was so funny.
If the shoe fits.
That's what was funny.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome back, guys. We're on episode 37. And as promised, we are going to get into a tour recap, and there is going to be a part 1, part 2, possibly part 3, depending on how we do on part 2. Because when we sat down and we started writing everything down on what happened, we literally went through the beginning, before tour, all the way through every city, what we remembered about each city. Yeah. And listen, we're old as Jesus, so we probably forgot a lot of stuff. Sure. So we might riff, or one of you guys might drop a comment and say, hey, I saw you and you guys were talking about this, or I don't know. Yeah. Feel free, because we don't remember everything, and we didn't. I'm so mad at myself because I said every day I'm going to journal.
Sure.
And, on tour. And then I didn't realize how chaotic tour was going to be. I knew it was going to be a lot, but I was like, well, I'm not in charge. I'm just here to help out or whatever, moral support.
I had something similar. I said I was going to take a picture in front of every marquee.
Yeah.
In every city. I said, I'm going to do that so I can document.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And do I have one? I think I have one.
And that's the one I took.
No, I have one that I actually took.
Of just you? Or just the marquee?
Just the marquee
itself. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did one at the first one.
Yeah.
And then in Denver, I think, and then maybe Dallas. I think I maybe have 3 of those. But here, you want to hear something funny? I just thought of this. Yeah. And our first show, I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but I just remembered this. I told Adam and I were talking, and he's like, I go, hey, have you ever seen that trend? And I know it's old, it's a TikTok trend where, well, actually, there's different versions of it. Like, there's ones where people hold hands, and then it's always like they walk up to each other and hold hands, and it's like when they're on vacation, and it's like this city, this city, this city, and they have it all cut together. Yeah. Well, there's this one where I hand you a drink, like if I have a cocktail and I give it to you like that.
Sure.
and then you put your hand out like this, and I'm supposed to put the beer or whatever in here, but then I turn it this way, and then we make a heart, right? And then we drink, right? So I told Adam, have you ever seen that one? He goes, oh yeah. And Adam doesn't do anything, but if I ask him, he'll do it. And, silly fun things. And I said, let's do that. Every city will do one. Yeah. And he goes, okay, we did one. We did New York, and it was terrible. And we didn't even do it. And we were like trying to rush, get out of the venue. I go, wait, we got to take our shot. We did take a bunch of shots in every city. Yeah. But we were supposed to take a shot and then do that little TikTok trend. And I'm telling you, just tour was just crazy. I thought, we're going to be there for moral support. No, we were like the roadies. We were like lifting shit and doing all kinds of stuff. And
yeah, which is fine. Yeah. Which is fine. I just had no idea it was going to be the way it was.
What we thought it was going to be. Yeah. Was not what it was.
Not at all. Not at all.
It was not.
Not at all.
Yeah. So we're going to get into it really quick here, and we're going to recap. Yeah. Because a bunch of you guys were saying, I hope you guys recap. I hope you guys recap. So here we are. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah. It
would have been last week, but we always do the Am I the asshole? So we wanted to stay true to that. That's why we're sharing it this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So we're going to just start from the very beginning, and we're going to walk you through it. And as we go along here, we're going to add a bunch of pictures to, corroborate our stories. Yeah. And we'll go from there. Sound good?
Let's go.
All right. So the first thing we talked about, months. Actually, probably a year ago. Yeah. When we first said, okay, we're going to do a book tour. Yeah. We said, I go, okay, cool. And then we kind of started getting into the details of we're going to get a tour bus versus flying everywhere, because we had Drew and Deison had the choice. Do you want to fly everywhere? Right. Or do you want to bus it? And then, just for logistical reasons and timing, it just made more sense to do the bus. Right. And so as soon as we found out, it was so funny because I told Tate, because I'm on all these business meetings, right? Yeah. And then I always recap Tate, and I go, hey, guess what? We're going to actually do a tour bus. Right. And Tate was like, yeah, this is going to be so fun. And then I said, and then he goes, you don't look excited. And I go, I'm worried. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing, I don't know why I thought it was like this. I already knew what the dates were, but I thought it was like, we're going to go for a weekend and then take a couple of days off and then go for the weekend. I thought it was going to be like on weekends. Does that make sense?
So you see, this is what he's never prepared.
Yeah. No, honey, please. That has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying, I assumed this is the way it was.
You just didn't put two and two together.
I didn't put two and two together. Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought these things happen on the weekends in all these cities, not during the week. You know what I mean? And so I just thought, okay, it's just a bunch of weekends. And when he said however many cities it was,
it's 21.
Yeah. I remember him saying it's going to be a month, and I remember thinking it's going to be longer than a month if it's just on weekends.
See,
but
why is no one ready?
I have never done it, so I just assumed, or in my own head thought, it was going to be like that.
No, I know. Yeah.
And then next thing I know, it's like, it's not at all. It's like every night. Yeah. Back to back. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I go, no wonder it's 30 days.
Let me get back to what I was talking about. Sure. Why I was scared or nervous. Because he was like, you don't look like you're excited. And I go, no, I'm excited, but I'm excited and nervous. And here's why. Because we're such a close-knit family. Mm-hmm. We do everything together. Mm-hmm. We hang out together. Mm-hmm. Our kids actually want to hang out with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was just worried because I'm the one who's like the planner, and I'm the one So I was thinking, we've never been together as all adults in close quarters for a month. I don't care how close you are. Someone's going to be boxing in the front yard. Someone's going to get off the bus and start duking it out, or on the bus, right? That's just me.
And not just as family, but friends too.
Well, because it wasn't just the five of us, because literally Donnie Dumps said, we were like, okay, cool, we're going on tour. So, did you want to go? Yeah. Because that is going to determine whether or not we board our dogs. Mm-hmm. And he goes, nah. And I was like, what? And he goes, nah, I'm good. I'm going to stay home. And we were like, okay, right? He acts like it's no big deal. So he stayed, but it wasn't just the four of us then. Sure. It was the four of us, Drew's assistant, agent, manager, bus driver, Adam, and Jared for security.
And then Drew and Billy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, sorry. I meant the 5 of us, not including Donovan, right? Because there's 6 of us, not including or when Donovan is included. But anyway, so I'm thinking, holy shit, dude, that's a lot of people with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different temperaments, a lot of different ways of doing things, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about me, right? And it was pretty, So anyway, I was nervous, right? And I'm like, I don't know, like, so we need to have like a get together. We need to have a dinner, and we all need to sit down, and we need to talk about a couple of things, right? I don't want anyone fighting. And when I say this out loud, I'm talking to myself too, because I do have a temper. No, I don't want any fighting. I want everybody to be respectful. Yeah. And most importantly, I want us to communicate, right? If something's bothering you, let's communicate, but do it in a respectful way. I think we'll be fine. And so we were like, okay. So we talked to the girls, and they were like, oh, yeah, for sure. And Billy was like, yeah, for sure. We're going to have a meeting. And then everything went sideways because the pre-launch came out, like the pre-order came out, and then we were just go.
Yeah.
Drew was filming. Then they were doing filming with 2 idiot girls. And then it was just interview, travel. Like, it was just crazy for like 3 solid months. We're talking May, June, July.
All the way up to the book tour.
Literally. I'm not even joking. Literally all the way up until like a day before we actually started tour. And that was when we were still in LA.
Yeah.
And we were, we did the first book signing.
Yeah.
But going back to the communicating, I was nervous. So then when I had my therapy session the day before we left, right? Good old Val, guys. Val said, I love that. Because remember I was telling you, we should have a safe word. If someone's mad at someone, or say, hey, like if I'm mad at you, I come up to you and say, hey, and I'm just making this up. Sure. Bing bong. Right? If I say bing bong, that's our safe word. Yeah. And then you have to know anything that comes after that is me saying something with love, but something that you're pissing me off about, or something that's bothering me, right? Or you said something to me, I didn't like it, whatever. Yeah. So I was telling Val this, and she goes, I love that. She goes, but you know what? You should add like a color system. I've encouraged clients to do this. And I go, oh, what's that? She said, well, you can do like a daily check-in. Hey, Tate, where are you at? What's your color at right now? Sure. And then you're like, green. Okay, then I know you're good. Yeah. Or yellow. Hey, I'm good, but I'm not doing so hot. Or orange. Hey man, I'm on the edge. Right. I'm in a bad mood or whatever. And then red's too late. Right? Red, I'm like,
you're right there.
I'm pissed. Like, we're fighting in the front yard, like that kind of thing, right? Sure. So I thought, oh, that's really cool. So we're gonna have a dinner, and let's go over this. I love this idea. But then things got so crazy, we ended up literally never having our dinner. Yeah. Because we didn't have time. I know. And if we weren't working, we were sleeping. So that was like preparing mentally, right? So we did 2 things. We prepared mentally.
Well, at least tried to.
Well, we did, because I talked to the girls about the color system. Sure. I talked to like other people, like, that were on the bus, like, hey, we thought about this or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, that's a good idea. We never implemented it because we never had to. Right. But so we prepared mentally, right? And then we prepared physically. Yeah.
Which is packing. Yeah. Yeah. All the luggage, I've never seen that many luggage before in my life. I can't recall.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Like everyone each had 2 each, or what was it?
Well, technically 3 if you had a rolly bag on the plane plus your carry-on. Like that was your carry-on, and then you had your backpack. Yeah. So everybody had almost like 4 pieces of something. Yeah. 2 giant suitcases. Yeah. I think Carrie had a duffel bag in addition to her suitcase. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. It was everyone had a backpack. Like, it was crazy, because how do you pack for a month? Yeah.
And I remember the day of packing, having all kinds of anxiety about what to put in that stupid suitcase, and what to wear, what not to wear, what to leave behind, what to keep, what I need. Yeah.
Yeah. What he needed was like 5,000 baseball caps. And how many did you wear?
I wore them all.
No, you did.
I wore them all.
Every single
one of them. I didn't bring 5,000. I brought 6. Oh. I brought 6, and then I added one because we got a free one, which I love, and I got to wear that one too. So I wore them all.
And I say that in jest, because I'm like, I super overpacked. But I also, not only did we have to pack just like for the tour, but I had to pack other clothes because we did literally the first stop, like we flew from LAX to New York, and then for 2 days it was press days. Yeah. And when I say it was press days, it was like 6 different things per day.
Sure.
It was crazy. So I had to pack for that. I had to like pack nice clothes and
Yeah.
whatever. So packing was crazy, guys, because like it's like, how do you pack? And then I kept having to remind myself, this is what I do. I just take everything out. Yep, I like that. I like that. And then I have this giant like Mount Crumpus on the bed. And then I'm like, wait, we're going to have laundry days. I forgot that. They're going to like wash our clothes. So like, okay, I don't need that. I don't need that. I can double up on that. I can, you know what I mean? And I still overpacked.
Yeah, I know.
So packing just in general to get to New York for the tour bus that's because we were getting the tour bus over there.
Yeah.
That in addition to packing a day bag, which I'm like, what? What's a day bag? Like I know the concept of a day bag, but how does that work on tour? Mm-hmm. Do you want to explain how that works?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how it works until they talked about it, but I finally figured, well, because on tour, you don't want to be lugging those giant suitcases around everywhere. Mm-hmm. So you have a day bag that covers a couple days.
Yeah,
so
that you keep on the bus.
Yeah, and then you're able to keep it on the bus and then take it off really quickly, get into the hotel room, right? Where the suitcases can be stored underneath, and if you need extra later, then you'll do it again. It's like a rotation thing.
Yeah, you pull the suitcases out from underneath the bus.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that well, I did, but I don't think Tate remembered that we were, like, when I say hotel rooms, that's just for the day. It's like a day room, right?
Yeah.
So we booked hotel rooms, but there was only 2 hotel rooms. So half of us went in one room, half of us went in the other room. And then, like, it was basically our family in one room and everyone else in the other room. And they had to take shifts, right? Because it was like Jared, Adam, like whatever. And so, and for us, we didn't really have a shift. We just kind of like got into a groove where the 4 of us, me, you, Billy, and Drew would go to the gym, and Deison would wake up late, and then we would flip flop, and then everybody took turns taking showers.
Yeah, and we didn't have a problem cramming all in there. And,
No,
you know, because we're family.
yeah,
So
yeah. So we had, so we did that.
Yeah.
in every stop.
Yeah. So it's basically you take your everyday life
Yeah.
and put it in a little bag.
Put it in a duffel bag.
Yeah, because it's including toiletries
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying? So
Don't forget your butt wipes.
yeah, and my butt wipes and my matches. You know, the magic spray, both, which by the way I left.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, those matches were not yours. They were Adam's.
Oh, sorry.
I couldn't believe he brought matches. And I go, matches? That's old school.
that bathroom was insane, though.
I know. Oh, well, you're talking about in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get
No,
to that
not
later.
that one. Not that one. Was that
That's
LA?
where you left it. You left it in
Yeah,
LA.
with the sliding.
Yeah. You left it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that. We're not there yet.
No, we're not
that's
there
in
yet.
episode 2 because
Yeah.
the LA was at the last one.
Yeah, just things you would normally use daily, right?
And things you like think of like when you go away for a weekend and you pack a weekender, right? Like a weekender bag. So we had to do that like every day or like every 3 days.
Yeah.
And pack. You don't forget your chonies. I can't tell you how many times I freeballed it with my titties because I forgot my bra. So I'm like walking out with my shirt like this because I was like, remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sometimes I forgot chonies. And I'm like, go back to the bus and give me some underwear. So
Then you have to have a laundry bag.
yeah.
And then you got to deal with all your sweaty shit from the fucking gym.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we had to like hang it
Yeah.
and then in this teeny tiny closet on the bus.
Yeah.
And then when you open that thing, damn, our dirty laundry, because it wasn't just us, it was me, Tate, and Deison. We shared that closet with all our dirty laundry, but we had them in the bag.
Yeah.
But then our stinky, like wet workout clothes were hanging, and it was like, oh.
Yeah,
right?
just like, and then so you had to create that routine of just the constant change.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a 2 days then change. It was every night.
What do you
change. Well, that's what it felt like.
What do you mean?
No. Change as in every venue, every
Oh,
city.
yes. Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
change. You know what I mean? It was like you were constantly
Like the location was changing.
change. Everything was changing, but you were still doing the same routine.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And because it's summer, it was
that too. Holy cow.
hot as Satan's asshole in every damn city. And the only time it cooled the fuck down was when we got to San Jose.
Yeah.
San Jose,
Well,
and then,
Portland,
it was still
Portland was pretty cool. No, Seattle.
no, it was like it was still hot, but it was rainy.
That's true.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
so we had to prepare mentally first, right? And make sure we don't kill each other and we still love each other when we get back from tour.
Right.
And then we also had to prepare physically because you don't realize how much of a routine that you have and how much crap you use every day when you have to compartmentalize everything and downgrade.
I think I was talking to Adam about that. I was like, you don't realize like how much of your daily routine is so important to you until it gets
disrupted,
and then you have to change it, and it's so hard because you're so used to the same routine every day, and it works for you, right? I like, for example, myself. I get up, I drink water, I drink my protein, I take all my vitamins, right, and then what happens next? I go poop. You know what I'm saying? So there's that routine, right? And so now I'm on a bus. Now I'm on the bus. I'm just sharing. now I'm on a bus and I got to do that there. You know what I mean? So I got to.
You can't poop on the bus.
No, you can't poop on the bus. I'm just saying I got to do my routine on that thing. You know what I mean?
That's another thing that was part of preparing mentally because, Drew and Deison's manager, Phil, he has been in the touring business for like 15 years and he's toured with some of the biggest rock bands, right?
Sure.
So he's just like, but that guy is like a nomad. He lives out of a fucking backpack and a little teeny tiny rolly like luggage,
Right.
And I'm like, that's it?
You could do it with his eyes closed. Yeah.
And so he was like, and you got to tell everybody, Noelle, I need you to just emphasize nobody can poop on the bus. And I was like, well, I know that because we camp, right? Yeah. So we have trailers and whatnot. And campers, and that's the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
And so
number one only.
Yeah. And then the girls laughed at me when I said that. And I'm like, oh, they don't get it. They're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't believe me. So anyway, we had to prepare mentally for that as well.
For all that, yeah.
But then, we got the other thing that we had to like really coordinate, and this was more on my end, working with the travel agent and Drew's agent and manager, Drew and Deison's agent and managers. All of that together, like it was literally like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it had to be a well curated dance, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we're coming in, like we're leaving one state and going into the next state, when we arrive at like 5 a.m, because we would sleep at night, when we arrive 5, 6 a.m, we need the room open. We need the room keys and we need to get in and we need to start, our daily routine.
Yeah.
And that meant the travel agent had to book the night before. Yeah. So if we were coming in on the 1st or the 4th, let's say, we were coming in on the 4th, the travel agent had to book the room for the 3rd to the 4th. We check out at like 1:30 or whatever. And sometimes he didn't do that. In fact, quite a few times he didn't do that. And it was fucking up the flow. And then I was getting angry, right?
Which means he was stepping on Noelle's toes when we were dancing.
And you don't want to do that, right? And so that was another thing we had to contend with was the travel agent messing up, and that was not fun. And then he, when he messed up on flights. Yeah. Messed up on a room, okay. We can just hang on the bus. We have a bathroom on the bus. We have beds. We have all kinds of stuff. We have food. We have drinks, right? You mess up on a flight, those are fighting words. Now we're fighting in the front yard, right? So we had luggage. Then when we were flying different places, we had to have cars big enough to come pick us up. Because, by the way, we had a bunch. Well, we didn't take as much because the bus was driving there. Yeah, we were flying ahead. And that was a couple of them. Yeah. Right? So we had to do that. Yeah. And then, so these are all the things that we're kind of like working on, right? Preparing mentally, preparing physically. Yeah. And then doing the dance with the with all the airline tickets, traveling and whatnot, right? So then when we kick off this whole tour, we're just trying to paint the picture of all the stuff that goes into this, the behind the scenes. The first day was in LA, which meant it wasn't the actual tour, but it did kick off the book tour. Yes. And Drew did a book signing at Barnes & Noble at the Grove in Los Angeles. So we did that, and that was really fucking cool, dude. Like Tate and I were tearing up going, what is going on here? Right. They had, it was the Barnes & Noble at the Grove is like 3 stories, right? And so, or is it 2 stories?
I don't know. It was big.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so
I think it's 3.
Originally, she was supposed to be on the top floor, which was like the smallest area. And when the book first launched for a pre-order, And then 1 week later, Barnes and Noble's like, yeah, we're gonna have to move her down to the second one because we launched this like book signing, and then it was just selling out. So the second floor has like room for 400 people to like line up and whatnot. And I was like, dang. So when it actually happened, you know, we were looking at it going, oh my gosh, look at all these cool fucking people out here to see our knucklehead kid, which was really cool. And a lot of you guys came up to us after you guys got your picture with Drew, and you're like, oh my gosh, can we take a picture? Which was really nice.
It was really nice.
So if you have those pictures, post them so we can see them. And I know you guys most of you guys posted them before, but so other people can see. So that was really cool.
I know that whole, because that was the beginning of it. So you're you know, you got butterflies. You're excited about this whole thing. It's kicking off in L.A. at the Barnes and Noble, her book signing, and you got a huge line, and then the venue changes a little bit to a bigger space to accommodate more people.
Yeah.
And then my first experience with the meet and greet.
Yeah.
How many people stood in that line? How many people gave her a hug and kept telling her how much they love her? Like that whole experience to me was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, just watching it. You know?
Absolutely. We had friends come out. Our cousin Josh and Mayo came out, which was really funny because Josh was sitting like the way it was set up, like people came around, they took their picture, then they kept walking, and then we were sitting right there. And they were like, can we take a picture with you, to Josh? And he goes, no, I'm nobody special. And they're like, what? And we kind of deduced that we think that they thought he was Adam.
Yeah, I think they thought it was Adam.
Because a lot of people haven't seen Adam, and they were like, I think it's Adam, and whatever. And he was like, he was profiling me.
It was him and Deison, and they recognized Deison. Yeah. So I think
they automatically thought it was Adam, and we were dying because so many people were asking Josh for a picture, and he's so anti, like, I don't want to be front facing, I want to be behind the scenes, and it was really cute. So that in and of itself, we're looking at each other and we're like tearing up, and we're like, man, this is so cool, you know?
And I was watching that, I go, this is what I have to look forward to. Yeah. Because this is going to be for a month, you know? And I was just like, man, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. That's what I kept saying in my head.
Yeah. And then afterwards, we went and had dinner at the marketplace.
Yeah, which was fun.
That was really fun. And so it was just like, you know, normal. Like when we do stuff together, like we didn't realize it was going to morph into something different as soon as we got on the bus. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That whole bus experience changed it. Well, made it more realistic.
Yeah, definitely changed the dynamic on that. That was really crazy. Yeah. So then,
after having dinner at the farmers market.
Oh my gosh! Wait. Okay. Yeah. So we had dinner at the farmers market,
which was cool. We had Josh and Mayo there because that's their old stomping grounds.
Yeah, because Josh went to USC. Yeah. And so he's like, you gotta go to this place that makes toffee in here, and that's my jam. Toffee. If you know me, I'm a toffee whore connoisseur. Yeah. Every time we go to Disneyland, they have their homemade, like, you know, chocolate covered toffee. Oh, so he goes, it runs circles around Disneyland, and I was like, no. He's like, yeah. So we went. Oh my. Oh,
does it run circles?
I was like, this is the best toffee I've ever had. Like, I'm literally like, who needs to be an alcoholic? I could just be a toffeeholic. It was so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was hella expensive, but it was worth every bite and every penny. Yeah. But then, so we go, and then after we're done eating, we're like, let's just walk around the Grove. So we walked around, whatever. And then people are stopping Drew and Deison, taking pictures, whatever. We're like, okay, all right, we're going to call it a night. And then we're like, bye, Josh, bye, May. We'll see you in a month, right? See you at the LA show. Okay. Yeah. So we leave, but we have to separate because there's so many of us. We get into two different Ubers, right? We leave. Tell me why me, Carrie, and Tate. I don't know how Carrie ended up in the car with us. I'm like, poor Carrie has to hang out with the parentals. And we get in this car, right? And
it was Carrie's Uber.
Oh, okay.
And it was small. And then everyone got into the bigger one.
Yeah. That's what it was. But it wasn't small because it was like an Escalade that we got into.
I think it was a smaller one.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, doesn't matter. It was a black car service. Okay. And then I don't know what happened. So it was just the three of us. This guy, sweet as pie, but he was talking about his famous mom who was I don't even know, what did he call those drums? Like they're like in an orchestra, and there's like
percussion.
Well, yeah, it's in the percussion section.
No. I'm just trying to come up with the
instrument is like little drums or whatever. I don't know. I forgot what they're called. But he said she was the first woman to be in a professional orchestra that was playing those drums because it was typically a man. Yeah. And
I
was
remember
like,
this. I remember that, what he said.
yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, it was in the 50s and whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then so he's driving, right? He's driving and he goes, and he's doing this. He's driving and he's going with his phone, right? For those of you on Spotify, I'm like pretending I have a phone while I'm driving. And then he's turning around and showing us the phone going, here's my mom with Elvis. And then he's like, going, here's my mom with the Rat Pack. And then he's like, here's my mom. And the whole time Tate's going, oh my God, in his head. He's like, oh my God, just fucking drive. You're going to like, and we were like, because he was like, oh, he's like turning around showing us. And this is my mom with like Elvis. And he turns out, he's like, oh, and he almost crashes into a car. And me, Carrie, and Tate were going, oh my God.
But this was like, so we all get in, and my experience in this was, well, my perspective of this is we get in, this guy starts talking, not listening. So I just like, nah, I'm not listening. So I looked out
him and Carrie, and I'm sitting there going, and he's looking at me in the mirror, right? Because I can see him. I'm in like a dead shot, and he like we're locking eyes, and he's like, hey, good, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh, good, just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
These two fuckers clam up, and they're like, ugh. And I was like, damn, this is like when we have the car service, like when we go to the studio, and sometimes we don't know the driver. Me, Deison Drew, we all put our headphones on and just look down because I'm like, I'm not talking. I always get stuck talking to the fucking driver, but I didn't have any headphones, so I had to talk to him. And he took forever. It was like a 10-minute drive, and I don't know why it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So everybody was waiting in the lobby for us because we were gonna go do. I forgot we were gonna do something. And then Alex was like, what took you guys so long? And I'm like, oh, I have the whole history. And then he was going, hey, Siri, play da-da-da-da-da. And like some song that was like in Disney. Yeah. And she was in there playing the little drum thingies.
Right.
And I was like, I was like, damn.
I remember that.
It was really good music, but I was like, all right, already, I don't care.
Just get us to the hotel, please.
But he was talking about all these cool stories, which I love that time era, like like not the era, but like the entertainment part of the era of the 50s and 60s or whatever. So anyway, suffice it to say, I got stuck talking to that guy. But anyway, so we do that, and then the next morning we leave for New York. We get on the plane. We no problems. Everybody's got their seat. Everybody was great. Yeah. People who saw us walking to our gate was like, they left us alone, and it was great, Yeah. And so we get to New York, and we check into our hotel, which was amazing. It's the one we always stay at when we go to New York. And then we go to dinner with the whole team because Phil and Amy and the baby came and met us at Quality Italian. So we had a big dinner at Quality Italian to kick off the actual beginning of the tour. Right. Then the next day we take a car out to Hoboken, I think it was. Yeah, New Jersey. In New Jersey to see the tour, or to see the bus. See
what we're going to be living for the next 30 days.
And so we get there, we get on the bus, you guys. Yeah. And so mind you, like Phil's like, hey, you can buy your own sheets. Right. Sheet sets, or you can, just use the ones that come with the, they wash them or whatever. Sure. With the bus. And I was like, we'll do our own. Yeah. So we ordered sheet sets for everyone, right? Twin sets for everyone. And then we ordered a full set because that's what they told us was on the bus for Billy and Drew. Correct. In the little master bedroom thingy. Yeah. And tell me why we get there and it's a twin. And Drew looks at it and she comes back and she goes, Mommy, did you see the bed back there? And I go, I did, and we're working on it because I knew she was going to be pissed. And so, so that was our first hiccup. Yeah. And tell me why, because we have two tour managers. The head one was Gary, and the one that was actually on tour with us the whole time, Keisha. Shout out Keisha. She was awesome. Yeah. And Gary was the tour manager for our last tour. Sure. But he had already booked a tour, so he could only be there the first week. And then his right-hand gal, which is Keisha, she took over. Yeah. But it was like, Gary's like, Noelle. I'm like, Gary, we can't have that back there. We got to do something about it. He's like, I'm on it, whatever. And he goes, by the time you get on this bus, it's going to be fixed. Yeah. And it was.
And it was.
There was literally like a full, it almost looked like a queen bed back there because it was tight. Yeah. But they made it work. They built them a whole bed back there and everything. And it was great. The whole trip.
Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. He said, hey, he goes, I can take care of this.
Yeah, I'm going to fix it. And then, so the whole night, Drew was like, Mommy, they better fix it. I go, I'm making sure. And then I was texting Gary, how we doing? What does it look like? Whatever. Yeah. So that was our first hiccup, but it was not a deal breaker. Nope. We got it done.
We took care of it.
And it was good. So a lot of people had texted this man or DM'd him, like DM'd us about the living situation on there.
Yeah.
You're for those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
Tate is 6'6".
Yeah.
I'm only 5'3", right? And we had to literally sleep in a bunk.
Yeah.
Like there was bunks. But there was 4 bunks towards the front of the bus that were bigger.
They were right in the middle.
Yeah, they were bigger. There was like just one and then one. And then the ones in the back, there was 6.
6.
So they were stacked 3 high. And
yeah.
ours were only 2 high because they were bigger.
Yeah.
And the curtains we had on our bunks were like kind of like blackout curtains.
Yeah.
But they were really thick and they were like kind of leathery,
Yeah,
like
that's
made
what I
out of
thought they
leather.
were.
But they were. I asked Dan, our bus driver.
Yeah.
He said they're like for soundproof.
Yeah.
Like it drowns out, not proof, but like it drowns out the sound and it literally blacks out the light.
Yeah.
So we slept in those. The first 2 nights, I was like, I'm not gonna make it, guys. Think of like your preschooler when they go to preschool and they have a little mat that they take naps on.
Yeah.
That's what the bed was. It
Yeah,
was
it was.
literally like a mat, like a cushion mat. And I was telling Tate, I'm not going to make it. This thing sucks. Because I'm like so spoiled. Like we have a Casper bed and it's like heaven. It's like sleeping on a cloud.
Yeah.
And then we get on this and I'm like, and then with the bus moving, I get motion sickness.
Yeah.
And then it was like, holy shit, dude, I'm not going to make it. So by the second night, we were like, I was like, I got to order a mattress topper. So we did that, like those little spongy, whatever. So we did that. So that was good.
Yeah. Just to make it a little bit more
Comfortable.
Yeah, that's it.
And doable. So get this, you guys. So like I couldn't sleep for the first 2 nights and I thought it was the bed, right? So I got a mattress topper for me, you, Deison, and that's it. Just the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And and the third night I still couldn't sleep and I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized it's because I'm so used to him snoring, but because those curtains, like I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
Right? I couldn't hear him snoring. And then I'm so used to, because this year is what, 31 years?
Yeah.
Or 31 years we've been together.
Yeah.
I'm so used to sleeping next to him that I figured that that's probably why I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So the third night, he was already in his bunk, and I opened the curtain. I'm all scoot over. He was laying on his back with his laptop like this, or his iPad, and he was watching a movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, scoot over, and he goes, what? Mind you, this is a twin bed with a 6'6" giant. And I go, I can't sleep. And so I go, just let me lay with you for a little bit. He's like, okay. And so I laid there and I literally fell asleep in
Like 2 seconds. Yeah.
I was out like a light. And then I woke up at like 2 a.m. and I'm all right, I'm going to bed. I need to get comfortable. Goodbye. And that's what we did from that moment on.
Yeah.
That was like a little routine.
Yeah.
I would climb into his little bunk and then we would watch a movie and I'd fall asleep 5 minutes in and then I'd wake up at like 1, 2 a.m. and I'd go back to my own bed.
Yeah.
And then we'd get up and do it all over again the next day. So that was the bed experience, the bunk experience.
Yeah. Not bad. I mean,
No, it was doable.
I barely.
Yeah.
My head was touching. My feet were touching. I bent my knees. I had to bend my knees a little bit.
He had to sleep in the fetal position to fit.
A lot.
Yeah.
But I think because the sound of the bus.
Yeah.
Right on the road, and then in that curtain, of course, blacking out the light. That it helped me sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
But I could never get the full 6-7 hours.
Well, nobody can. You're in a moving house, basically.
Yeah.
But then, like the experience on the bus was like, I mean, I get motion sickness.
Sure.
I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
There was very limited space for anything. And so all the little nooks and crannies of the bunks, one of the bunks we called the junk bunk when nobody was there. Like Phil was there for a little bit, then he left. So we used his bed as a junk bunk. And then he came back. And then Steven joined us. That's Alex's husband.
Yeah.
Then all the bunks were
full.
full.
Yeah.
And then we had to like put all our stuff in the living room.
Yeah.
Like it was a circus, you guys.
It was. And the great thing about it, like everyone did good.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone was pretty cognizant of everyone in that tight quarters, and they were pretty cordial and nice, and and worked together nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't you agree?
No, 100%. Everybody was very respectful of everyone else. Yeah. And then everyone just kind of find where their little cubbies were.
Yeah.
And then that was yours for the rest of the tour.
Yeah.
But we did talk about no pooping on the bus.
Yep.
That was not allowed.
Yeah.
And Gary was telling us the story, like, because he's been with the biggest rock bands ever. And he said, and then Alex was like, well, what if I have a question. What if you have to poop? And then he's like, you either do one of two things.
Yeah.
You ask the driver to pull over,
Yeah.
and then we find like a gas station or whatever. Or he's like, you're going to have to poop on the bus, but here's how you do it. You put a trash bag inside the toilet, put the toilet seat down, and then you got to poop in the bag.
Yeah.
Then you got to take the bag, tie it in a knot, go tell the driver you got to drop off your poop somewhere. And I was like, I looked at Alex and I go, yeah, we're not doing that. Alex, we're not doing that. She goes, I know. Right. And
what do you call it? A hot bag? They call it a hot bag.
Yeah. That's when you hot bag it. And I was like, that's so disgusting.
So we used that word for a while.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, no hot bagging. Right. And if you do, the first person who hot bags it, we're going to call you number 2.
Yeah.
The whole trip.
Yeah. Because Gary said a guy got nicknamed number. And then Gary also said there was a specific band. There was a guy who just had to do it.
And he was like, I don't care. Call me number 2. I got a hot bag every night. And I'm
you
like,
have to do it. And he would do it.
I would make you get off the bus.
Yeah. You're not riding on the bus.
You're not riding with us. You pay for your own flights and we'll see you wherever.
Yeah. That's insane.
The next city. But anyway, there was a little stint. I think it was like 2 nights in a row, maybe 3 nights. I think it was 3 nights in a row where I'd get up in the middle because I drink a lot of water. And that's another thing I was not used to. Like I'm used to drinking a gallon of water a day or damn near close. And you have to pee all the time. And so in the middle of the night, I can't tell you how many times, I think it was like 3 times, I would get up, I'd go in the bathroom to go pee, and there would be piss on the toilet seat, which is how I know it's a boy making that piss on the back of the seat. And I was like, there's no way, dude. That was the first night. Second night, it happened again. The third night, I was like, I'm over this. Because it always happened in the middle of the night. Because when we'd get off the bus, our bus driver would clean the whole bus. Yeah. Clean the bathrooms, sweep and mop the floors and whatever. Clean the kitchen, whatever. And I saw that for the third night in a row. And I went back as soon as I went back to my bunk, I got we had a group chat and I said, hey guys, whoever's pissing on this seat, I'm going to need you to not do that anymore. I'm going to need you to lift the seat when you take a piss, or when you get up from the toilet, I'm going to need you to wipe down the toilet seat. Cool? Thanks. Right? And then it never happened again. Yeah. That's how I know it wasn't Dan, the bus driver, because he's not in our group chat. So,
who was blaming the bus driver?
I was. I was like, I bet you it's Dan. He doesn't want to pull into a gas station. And then I think it was Carrie that goes,
he isn't going to do it driving.
Well, no, Carrie said, Carrie goes, I don't think he's going to pull over on the side of the road just to use our bathroom. And I was like, well, that's a good point. All right. I'm all, then who is it? And nobody would cop to it. Yeah. Still to this day, no one has copped to it.
But whoever it was fixed it.
Yeah, because I sent a semi funny text to the group, and I was like, hey, knock it off, Yeah. So
and that's what I mean by everyone got along.
Yeah.
Everyone understood each other. Everyone was cordial.
Yeah, but I had to send out the text. That was the first and only text that at least one of us sent out saying, hey, lock it up.
Of that kind.
Yeah.
Right? I can't recall any other. Mm-mm. Yeah.
At least it wasn't me. That was the only one I sent out because I couldn't take it anymore. Because I was like, dude, come on. Like, and I know it's a boy because there was piss on the seat. And I'm thinking, if you're standing up and the bus is moving, you're trying to hold your ween so it doesn't splash everywhere. I don't know. So it's like, okay, but like clean it up. Like, what the heck, So anyway, and then we had to get used to laundry day, right? You had to pack up all your laundry in a giant laundry bag. You had to write your name on it, and then they would come and pick it up, and then they would bring it back. Yeah, either the next day or the same day, depending on where we were.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
It was nice. The first 2 that because we did it in 2 different cities. It was great. The third one sucked.
Yeah, it was nice.
I forgot what city we were in, but it was towards the end of tour. Yeah, and they washed something blue in Deison's lights, so everything turned blue. Yeah. They kind of fucked up some of my workout shorts. They didn't fold them good like the other 2. So it was like, and I've never had, I don't think you have either. We've never done laundry service.
Not in my life, no.
Yeah, but it was nice.
It was kind of nice.
I wonder how much that would cost to pay someone to do that at home.
I think I recall Billy saying, man, I'm going to copy the way they fold socks. Huh. Because that first one, the way they fold socks, I was like, what the hell?
Too much time.
I'm just saying, it was nice and tight. I like that.
Drew's like, I might fuck around and get a laundry service when I get home. That's the bane of her existence is laundry. So, but we did laundry days. We did it 3 times. But yeah, and then we had writers, right? So basically that's the venue. They write it in their contract where they're going to spend a certain amount of money on like food and snacks and drinks, and it's whatever you want, right? And so we had that every city. And so for the first couple cities, it was the same. We didn't really, deviate. And then Drew was like, hey, can you add ramen to that? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great actual food for late at night. We get back on the bus at 11:30 at night. Everything's closed. So
Something
I was like, okay.
real fast.
Yeah, so we added ramen. I added cereal because I love eating cereal at night.
I think you added Pocket.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Towards the end of tour, that was Daison's favorite. We had champagne on there for the girls to drink before every show. Yeah. And we have a champagne story for you too.
Yeah.
What else? We
had all the protein drinks. And
then protein bars.
The Monsters.
Oh, dude, we had candy, right? So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we all love candy. Like everybody loves like the Reese peanut butter cups, peanut M&Ms. Yeah. The Sour Patch watermelon,
Rice Krispie treats.
We had Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
But I just kept ordering them because no one told me to take them off them. And then we had these two giant drawers full of candy.
In the RV.
When Phil was there, though, all the candy would run out. So that's why I never took it off the rider, because I'm like, oh, the candy's gone. Yeah. Right. And we're talking family-sized bags. Yeah. Right. And so when he left, then I never took it off because I forgot. And then the candy drawer got like packed because Phil wasn't there to eat them all. Then he comes back for the Texas shows.
Of Texas shows.
And then they started depleting again. And then we started noticing, oh, it's Phil. He's the one that's eating them all. It was funny, dude. So, but yeah, we had writers.
Had Sour Patch in there. Sour Patch gummies, was it?
I just said that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. See how he doesn't listen? Love. Woo.
I was trying to remember all the foods. Water.
Lots of water. Here's the kicker, right? So I need to drink alkaline water because it helps my bowels, right? You're supposed to drink alkaline water. It keeps, it helps reduce the chances of cancer because the alkaline, I don't know what it does to your stomach, but it levels out your stomach. So if I drink regular water, then I get constipated. I need to drink alkaline water. So I would order my alkaline water, and then Alex had to have her Dasani water because she said that's the closest to the water taste, how it tastes in Canada.
Sure.
But then every time the venue would buy them, they'd buy them in these little packs. Yeah. So then everybody's thirsty. So then I started saying, okay, well, whatever water, 24, 32 packs. So they were like, people on the bus were like, you need to order more water. And I was like, okay. So I did. And guess what? They drank all my water. And then I'm stuck with the shit water. And I was like, dang it. So anyway, we had to work out our water situation.
They had Propel on there too. That was good.
Yeah, that was Jared.
I liked it.
Can we get Propel? So, okay. And then I had Carrie order, which you can do this on Amazon. I think it was 100 pack of those little Pedialyte packets.
Yeah.
So that way people could stay hydrated, especially when we got to, was it Denver?
God, was that like something ahead of time? Because the heat, right? That was not expected, all that heat.
No. But I knew that it was going to be hot because it's the middle of summer. You know what I mean? Sure. So I knew it was going to be hot, and I know that everybody needs to hydrate. Sure. So I told Carrie, hey, I found this on Amazon. I need you to order this. And it was a giant box of those packets.
Yeah. It was perfect. And asked me if we had any left at the end of tour. No, I think you killed the whole box.
We killed the whole box, which had 100 packets in it. And then we had to buy a little bit more for, I think, the last two shows or something like that. So, but yeah, that was leading all the way up to, we haven't even started when we started in New York. Yeah. But we can let's start with New York, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, we just went through getting prepared, getting on all the experiences, blah blah blah, and then now I believe we're going to choose each city we went through, and then talk about memorable moments in each one. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we kicked everything off with New York, right? I told you we got there, a day early, so we can just kind of get acclimated, and then the next day it was go time. Drew had so many press days, so many things to do. It was literally, she was on Good Morning America. She did the mini version or the online version of Hot Ones with those chicken wings. She did 2 shows on Sirius XM. She just did a whole bunch of interviews to promote the book, right? And then Empire State Building
Which is pretty
are fans of hers, and they're like, hey, if you've never been, like, we would love to have you and your whole party, and we'd like to take you on a tour of the Empire State Building, and then we want to take you to the top, where we don't let the public usually go. We only give private tours to like celebrities or whatever. And Drew like sent a text out, does anybody want to do this? And we're like, hell yeah, because I've never been to the Empire State Building.
That was my first time.
So we go, and it's like the fastest tour on the face of the earth.
Yeah. You skipped the part where we stopped to take a picture of the billboard. Before that was on the way to the Empire.
That was after Empire.
It was?
I have it on here.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Read your notes. See? Not prepared. So going back to the Empire State Building, it was really scary because you had to like climb these stairs. Like, and when I mean climb, I mean with your hands and your feet, like a ladder. You had to climb these ladders up to the very top. And it was crazy. And here's a fun fact for those of you who don't know. Drew is afraid of heights. And she knew this, and she still wanted to do it, which I commend her for. Yeah. But she was only up there for a little bit. They're like, we want to capture, their social team was with us. Yeah. We want to capture your first, thoughts when you see the very, very top. Right. And she goes, she turns around and she goes, my first thought is, it looks like the Spider-Man game down here. Because you get to the top, you go out on the balcony, and you can go all the way around. It's like there's like a little walkway all the way around the building. And it literally looking down, it looks fake. Yeah. It looks like a fake city. Yeah. It's awesome.
It looks just like the Spider-Man game.
If you ever get a chance to do this at the Empire State Building, do it. It is amazing. And by the way, shout out to the Empire State Building green room. It was the best green room we've ever been in. It was really cool. But I'll put some pictures of that you and I took with the little camera that they had in there, and the booth camera, and then me and Adam did one too. It was really fun. Yeah. But super fun.
Yeah, that whole experience I remember was it went by in a blur because our guide was like, let's go. We were getting in different elevators just to get to this.
Well, they weren't yelling that.
No. Yeah. But they were just like, we need to get this way. We need to get, and then there was a line outside of the building. There was a line inside the building.
With tourists.
Yeah, with a bunch of tourists. So we were skipping, and it was happening like that. Next thing I know, we're on the roof.
Yeah, it was really fast. And mind you, Drew had like a cute outfit on that she had just, she was just on Good Morning America. So she had a suit on, and then she had heels on. And then they were like, okay, follow me. And then they're like, just... And we were like, oh, and it was like super packed in there. And I was like, oh my gosh. Then she had to do a couple photo shoots. And so when people were in line, they'd be like, okay, hold the line. Okay, Drew, come on. And she was all like, she hates cutting lines. And she's like, oh, I felt like, and she was telling me, Mommy, I feel like an asshole cutting lines. And I'm like, it's part of the process, dude. Just try not to put too much thinking into it. Just take your picture and then we'll leave. And so we did, and there's a part where there's King Kong's hand, and you can sit inside his hand, and then they take pictures. And there was that part, and then we left. Deison goes, oh, I wanted to sit on King Kong's hand. Because fun fact, if you don't know, Deison loves monkeys and gorillas. That's like her favorite animal in the world. She even took a class that I had to pay for at University of Oregon that was about primates. I'm all, what? And I said, okay, because I know how much she loves him. Yeah. But she goes, oh, I wanted to sit on King Kong's hand. And she never got the chance to. So maybe next time. But that was crazy. So we got to do that. Yeah. And then after that, we went to go find her billboard on 34th Street.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And we'll put pictures up here. But it was really fucking cool.
So cool.
Because it said, thanks to all my haters or something like that. And it was like really cute. Spotify and Audible had like, they just did a great job on that. So, but it was funny because it was hot as hell, and we're standing there, and when billboards flip, right? It changes. Yeah. So we're sitting there with our cameras up like this, waiting, like forever, and I'm like dripping sweat.
And then
like,
someone goes, there it is.
There it is. And I was like, and they were all standing in the shade, but I was standing right on the end of the curb, like the street, because I didn't want people walking in front of me. I'm only 5'3", so I'm like, no, I need to be. So I'm like in the hot sun, sweating my ass off. And then we finally got it, and then you and I kind of cried, and we were like, oh my god, we're so proud. Then we get on the bus, and then we go, or the Sprinter van, and then we went to the first venue. Yeah. Yeah, the first venue in New York or New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what was your favorite memory of the New Jersey show?
It was the very first show, so it's the very first time seeing it, and then, so that was good. That was a memorable moment because it's like the beginning. This is it, right? It's starting, and then to see how many people were there, like that I believe that one was sold out.
No,
right?
it was, yeah.
So that venue was sold out, which was huge,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then, you know, where we sat behind her friends. They were right in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just hearing everybody, the reactions of the crowd. There's so many memorable moments for me there, like because it was the beginning, you know. Like,
well, are you looking at your notes? Because I wrote down what you told me was a memorable moment, which is the first one.
no, I know. I was gonna say that. I was just talking like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So and then you know we did so many cool things as we were coming up to the lead of the starting of the show, and one of them was getting tooth gems. I remember Drew had someone in New York. She specializes in it, and I was like, "What are you guys doing? We're getting tooth gems." I'm like, "What's that?" And then they're in the back room doing it, and then Drew just turns around and asks, "Hey, do you want one?" And I go, "Okay."
Yeah.
So I went and got one, and that was like, I don't know, a memorable moment, you know, because I got it, and then you know, and then seeing the show, and then all that stuff I just talked about, like,
Yeah. It was really cool. So like Deison and Drew have always wanted to get tooth gems because their friend Teffy Pessoa, she always has tooth gems and it looks so cute on her. And so she had texted Teffy and said, "Hey, who does your tooth gems? I'm in New York. I'm kicking off my tour." And she goes, "Oh, girl, I got you." And then sent her the number of the girl, and she was there, and she was so fun and so cute. And I'll put some pictures up here of everybody getting tooth gems. So it was you, Deison, Drew, Adam, and Alex. Yeah. And Drew's like, "Mommy, you don't want a tooth gem?" I'm like, "No one's fucking touching my teeth." "No, thank you. No, thank you, ma'am." I was like, "I've never had braces. I don't want anybody going, oh, oops," and then like knocking a tooth out or something. That's like one of my biggest fears. So I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll just live vicariously through you, wild and crazy kids." So I was like, "No." But anyway, they came out really fun. You still have your tooth gem, yeah?
I do.
Yeah. Look at that. And my favorite, in addition to all of that, because I love taking pictures of everybody and getting their tooth gems, and I loved when they started bringing out the merch because we hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, that too.
So we had these shirts on. They had crew necks. They had, you know, towards the end we had book bags and all this other stuff. So that was really fun to see them all being pulled out and seeing people in line to buy our kids' faces, and it was just crazy, right?
I know.
But my ultimate favorite part of this whole New York show or the New Jersey show was when we were sitting in the crowd, right? We were up top, and Teffy Pessoa and Eric Cedeno were sitting in front of us. So Rico Taquito and Teffy were sitting in front of us, and you know, they had their cocktails, and they're so fun anyway. But watching them watch our girls and laugh and just lose it at all the jokes and whatnot, it was really fucking cool to see them just enjoying the show. And Teffy is so funny. She kept turning around and putting her hand on my knee and going, "Oh my God," like, and listening to all the stories that people were submitting, and she was like, "Ah," like, she's so animated. It's like, I love hanging out with her and Brittany. They are so funny.
Just
so like,
the energy is so good. Huh?
yeah. If you ever want to have the ultimate experience at a concert, you have to go with Brittany Broski. She knows all the words. She sings them at the top of her lungs. She has an amazing voice, but like, she's just so fun and animated. But anyway, Teffy was the same, and she was just enjoying every moment.
Right.
You know, they came a little late, but like, they jumped right in, and it was so fun. And then you got to meet them afterwards, right?
Yeah, the after party.
Yeah. So that was really fun. That was my favorite part.
That was so much fun. The after party too is a memorable moment because I was just shocked that the show just ended, you know, and meeting all these people. They were all coming to see our kids, and they love our kids. And I met, what was his name, Moises or whatever? Or was
from Time Magazine.
Yeah, from Time Magazine. He absolutely loves Drew. Couldn't talk.
CT from Rolling Stone was there.
Yeah,
Drew and Deison's attorney.
Yeah.
She's based in New York. She came out and had a girls' night with her girlfriend, like her friend. She's like, the husband's at home with the kids, and they were drinking beers. And I was like, I love seeing this. It's like when you see a teacher outside of school.
Yeah.
It's like a animal in the wild. You're like, it's just weird, you know? Because, you know, Drew and Deison's attorney is always like in a nice, beautiful suit. And she's like a badass. And she's like working her magic with all the contracts. And then you see her with jeans and a cute top and drinking a fucking Corona, and I'm like, go ahead.
She came with a friend, right? And that I just met, just like I met her, but she was talking to me more than the attorney was. They were really nice, and they love our kids.
Yeah,
you know that, and that was amazing.
Yeah,
you know, just hearing all everything they were saying about the kids and the show, and you guys are going to do great, and this tour is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
it's just like the light of the fire at the beginning of the tour.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
So, and it was really cute because Tate's heard of all these people, like Good Children, like Andrew and Joe.
Yeah.
He's heard of all these people, Teffy and Eric. He's heard of all these people, but he's never met them.
I never met him.
And so when he now he gets to meet them, and it's like putting two and two together. So it was really cool.
Oh, and what's his name from Patreon was there?
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I
You're so
forgot
rude.
I forgot his name.
Joe was there. He runs their Patreon, and he brought his girl or his fiance, Kate, and it was really fun. And it was cool to actually meet Joe for the first time because he's been running their Patreon for. Well, this month is their 1 year anniversary.
Oh, shit.
And so he's just the best at what he does. And it was really fun meeting him in person. I've seen him on Zoom a bajillion times, but meeting him in person was really cool.
Yeah, he was really nice. Too.
Yeah, really cool.
Nice.
So anyway, we're going to cut it there. We only got into one city. So we will have a part 3.
We have 20 more cities.
Maybe we won't talk as much and go into too much detail, but like we really wanted to give you, because you guys keep asking, how was the bus? How was the experience?
Yeah.
So we got to New Jersey, our first East Coast show, and now we only have 20 more to go. But we have little tidbits on each one, and it won't be as long and as inundating as the first, our first episode. So we'll take it and we'll run with it with 2 more episodes. Hopefully we can maybe we can finish it all in the second episode since we don't have to do the beginning anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the beginning of tour, and we're going to add a whole bunch of pictures and whatnot to our, to our show.
To describe or to get a more realistic look at it.
Yeah, and you can see, all that good stuff. So if you're only on Spotify, I highly encourage you to go to our YouTube channel.
You're missing out.
At AF5 Podcast. So you can see, you can put faces to names and all that good stuff and see our pictures. So we're going to end it there. But I do have a quote of the day because I remembered this time. This one says, memories are like creating a masterpiece. Sometimes things get a little chaotic and messy, but the end result will be breathtaking. So I put that up there because one of my mantras, and you can ask anybody in our family, don't I always say, hey, we're making memories here?
Yeah, all the time.
Like Tate will go, hey, this is going to cost a lot of money. Don't worry about the money. It's an investment in memories. Don't ever pass up an opportunity, especially if it makes you afraid. Please don't ever pass up an opportunity to make a memory, right? And the other day, someone asked me, hey, what word would best describe tour? And I said 2 words, core memory.
Yeah.
Right. This is definitely a core memory.
Huge.
It was messy. It was chaotic.
Yeah.
But it was so fucking fun. And we look back now and we have so many inside jokes. And so we just met so many of you. And I can't wait to get into that. On the second episode, we're going to talk about all the cool stuff. And we're going to have it all displayed right here that you guys brought us. And we're going to go through all of that on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave us with any parting thoughts?
It was an amazing experience, and I'll always remember it.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on part 2 for all the juicy information and pictures for the rest of tour. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.